We come at you from the shores of Lake Erie. EA Sports has the coverage of the NFL from First Energy Stadium here in Cleveland, Ohio. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Seattle Seahawks and the Cleveland Browns. The final weekend of the summer. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you are as we are off and running on EA Sports. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. First play, Watson to the air. Throw left side taken in by Miller. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Well, this defense for the Seahawks, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
And how'd you like to be the quarterback reviewing the game tape from last week and seeing this defense on the spot on almost every snap? If the ball was in the air, they took it away. If the ball was popped free, they picked it up. 5 takeaways in last week's game.
Now a throw here to his running back. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup.
And they'll use him out of the backfield, and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago. There's another one right there.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. First carry for Nick Chubb. And some room to roam now. And they do finally get him at the 12. A big play that time out of Chubb. 49 yards. I think you'd have to say Nick Chubb, pound for pound, one of the most powerful runners in the NFL. He proved it there. And
with a guy his size, you have to know defensively that arm tackles aren't going to fly with him. You have to be able to wrap up, or else he can just brush tacklers aside like they're not even there.
And you can see the distance traveled there after the initial contact on the next-gen stats. Now a first down throw, Watson. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's a give to Chubb. They'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3. So their move is to decline that so they don't get another 2nd down. It'll be 3rd.
So that has to tell us that they're pretty confident in their 3rd down defense, right?
Absolutely.
Whether it's a sub package or nickel package, whatever they want to run out there, they feel like they can defend here on 3rd down.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. And he fires one that's intercepted. And the Seahawks are going to get possession here as they force the opening drive turnover. Not something you see very often from a quarterback of his caliber, an opening drive interception.
Oh, there's no doubt in my mind that even he's surprised at how that one played out. But we know this guy is not going to stop him from continuing to fire as this game goes along. Probably give a little nod of respect across the field for that one and let him know he'll be back the very next series.
Here's Walker to start the drive. Tackle made there by Myles Garrett.
And that's frustrating for a defense because they've got them pinned down deep. And on the first play, they gave up a run that keeps an offense on schedule.
Yeah, because 3 to 4 yards, that's all you're looking for right there, right?
That's absolutely perfect, really, as a play call. You get 3 to 4 yards on first down. That's what they talk about to us all the time, about being ahead of the chains or on target, ahead of schedule. They were after that run.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. He was trying to find Noah Fant, the tight end, and it's 3rd down. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. From the shotgun, it's Mills. He lets it fly for Lockett. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Now here's Michael Dixon. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Returnable here from the 38. A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. Remember last time out they threw the interception on their first drive. Good news, their defense backed him up, so it's still 0-0 here as they begin their second possession.
Yeah, and one great way to judge a defense, how do they handle what we call sudden change? When all of a sudden, you know, it goes against their offense and have to run out in the field and try and put out the fire. Give this one great kudos for getting out there and not letting that interception lead to points. Excellent job by them defensive.
That's caught inside the 20. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. That one good for 37 yards.
When teams practice their plays during the week, they're hoping that it's going to pay off on game day. So it sure has to feel good for them when they hit them during a game, and they hit that one there for big yardage.
On 1st and 10, Watson. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. Jedrick Wills, former first-round pick, guilty there. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. They give the Chubb, and now a fumble. The ball's out, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And they put it on the ground here on the second drive, and of course, Charles, that follows drive number 1 where they had the INT.
Makes you wonder what's going on with this team, because a lot of times we can attribute it to nerves, but maybe it's a lack of focus. Maybe it's the preparation for the game. Maybe they just came into a little lackadaisical, because that's just not looking good at all. That's just not the football that we came here to see.
Following the fumble recovery, Mills going for Metcalf on the deep ball. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line. We know he's good at catching the football, but then after the catch, he's got escapability.
Not only that, he's got some toughness as well, because you know he's coached very hard to make sure he battles through, breaks tackles, and then they finish with, but don't fumble the football.
Walker now on 1st and 10. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, but he always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
A 5-yard gain, and now they're set up 1st and goal.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
So 3 plays, already 1st and goal, and they are wasting little time. Here's Walker. He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line.
That's good power football on 1st and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. On 2nd down, it's Walker. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal. They'll try and run Walker. And he gets halfway there, down to the 1-yard line. Only a yard that time, so now a decision to be made here on 4th and goal.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
So 3 points on the board, as easy a field goal as you're going to get, but I can see you shaking your head.
I love that peripheral vision of yours, partner, because to me, if it's the 4th quarter and you're up 6, I get it. But now, even if you run and don't get in, you're still setting them up to go a long field, 98, 99-yard drive. How do you look at your defense and not give them that opportunity?
The Cleveland offense ready to go. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Well, after incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, it certainly seems like a reflection of what we've seen so far in this game. The defense, quicker to the punch so far. Let's see if they can get something going here on 3rd down.
Back to throw, Watson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
And the Browns, 1st down.
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports.
With the score, Seahawks 3, Browns 0.
Now this offense hoping to avoid the 0-2 start. Now they trail, but they've got a 1st and 10 here. On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. The Browns had 0-1 in the year following the loss in the opener. And listen, they knew last week they were in for a tough fight on the road. But now here's the home opener and a chance to get things right.
And I like the way that you presented that, because the bottom line is they didn't come out of that loss discouraged. They just came home and said, hey, if we do what we're supposed to do, protect our home turf, we'll be just fine.
And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
Chubb will get the call running left, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Watson. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. They push him back 8 yards that time on 2nd down.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, he stays up. He wants it all for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Oh, he left that one in a bad spot, but fortunately it's just an incompletion and not picked to bring up 4th down. And Bojorquez on to punt as he gets it away. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
They'll run with Walker to begin the drive. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to it. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out by a few inches. That'll be a first down.
A good run there off right tackle in an old school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009-2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
Throwing on first down. Lines up to be incomplete.
Makes it 2nd and 10 at the 21-yard line.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10.
Okay, break. Cut 19!
Throwing again, Mills on 2nd and 10. And his throw here's incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Buffalo 18. 60 back there. 60 back there.
Mills. And that will be incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
Get it.
Fourth down, Mills. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And, boy, possession here turns over with a football already being in the red zone. And what is this? They're lining up here to punt on 1st down. And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
On the 6.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points CD.
If you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts. My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now Mills. He'll find his man. That's Freddie Swain. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one good for 26 and a 1st down.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the first half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Part of what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first. Second quarter, 2 minutes remain, 3-0 our score. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll try the draw now with Chubb. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They'll try the air now with Watson. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down.
You don't always expect tight ends to be big in terms of run after the catch, but after that play, he joins a growing band of players that's putting that stereotype right on its ear.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. To throw is Watson. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that is, I think he caught it. He did, but they'll say out of bounds. It'll be incomplete. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there. Forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. A first update now from Cincinnati. It's the Rams that have grabbed the early lead. I have a feeling that one's going to stay tight throughout. We'll continue to monitor. Now they return to the ground game. Chubb. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
First down marker at the 31. It's 3rd down. Watson now to throw. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. This from 54 yards away. York able to send this one through, and that will tie us at 3-3. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. This pass complete to Melton. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, 26 yards. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people.
He tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Greg Newsome. The 20. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Browns defense has a touchdown.
We constantly talk about defenders having great vision and being able to see plays unfold and make their own plays, but you also have to have good feel as well because you can't see everything out there. See the play unfold, feel what's going on, and then get to the right spot and make your own play. And in this case, it turned out to be a highlight one.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot. Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. The Seahawks trailing, but they will have possession first here as we resume action in the third quarter. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
Well, Charles, we saw a pretty entertaining first half, close ball game. Remember there toward the end of the second quarter, the opposition scored to take the lead. Now we'll see if these guys can get a score of their own to regain that lead.
Yeah, they want to have that type of a response, don't they? Because they want to find a way to take control of this ball game one more time. Gauntlet's been thrown down. They want to see if they're ready to answer it.
The job becomes twice as difficult now after the sack. It's 2nd and 20.
Mills to throw it.
Over the middle, complete. That's Walker. And down he'll go at the 25.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Second Pirates.
On third down, here's Mills. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, that's where this Cleveland crowd, the dog pound in particular, make it difficult on opposing offenses. It looked like they might have had troubles communicating at the line, and it leads to the incompletion.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back there and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Here's Watson. And that is taken in by Njoku.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage. So timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Up the middle, it's Chubb.
And he was able to shed one tackle but could not get away from there.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
On 2nd and 9, Watson. He'll find Miller. That's complete. And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Watson. That's to the right side and complete to Njoku. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. The Browns' passing game finding its stride. They've got another first down. They go up the middle with Chubb, and he stopped immediately there. Credit the tackle there to Uchenna Nwosu.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. Now it's Watson. They set up the screen to Chubb. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
That's a nice design there, but sometimes, though, you get so many blockers out ahead of you, they kind of slow you down and force you to adjust. You always appreciate guys trying to help you, but maybe one less there could have turned this into a bigger game.
From the gun on 3rd, Watson. Here's Chubb, back-to-back catches for him. And this won't be enough. Stopped a yard short after a gain of 3, 4th down. Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpire's got different responsibilities, but always, always making sure no one's holding.
Third and long, it's Watson. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Scotty Miller, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Browns go up by 2 touchdowns. Extra point by York is up and good. And the lead is now 17-3. The kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Straight ahead, Walker. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. So they cite the right guard this time with a holding penalty.
And so many different assignments you can have at that position, and sometimes you might just be a step too late and have to grab and hold on.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Now Tannehill. Open man, that's Noah Fant, the tight end. And they're able to get this one across the 35. First down, Seattle, 16 yards the gain there.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
He's got a man, complete. And all the way in, touchdown, Seattle.
For as big and strong as some of these guys are, especially when you see them in full pads, it is sometimes hard to appreciate how truly fast they can move. That was incredible.
Well, in this league where coordinators worry so much about drawing up the right routes, blocking assignments, misdirections and stuff, they have these precise arrows and movements. Sometimes the best plays just come from the schoolyard where you look at your fastest guy and say, go long, go get it, big man.
And if you're wondering just how fast he was going, Next Gen Stats says 21.8 miles per hour.
The Browns drive about to get started. Still enjoying the lead here in the 3rd quarter despite their defense giving up that last touchdown. Now they'll see if they can get the equalizer here on this drive. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
An opportunity to get a drive started here at the end of the 3rd quarter. What you're trying to do is break the game down a little bit. Don't let your guys see too deep into the game, into the future, and say, oh, we got to get here. No, right here, right in front of them. Melt the clock down, get to the 4th quarter, try and keep going.
And try to keep that lead.
Exactly.
They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now we'll play fake, and it's Watson. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
They go with Chubb on 2nd down. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted.
Jordan Brooks with it.
And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense was pretty vocal about his desire to take this running back out of his game, and all that pregame wolfing has turned into results.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now Tannehill. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
Well, sometimes the defense just beats you. Great coverage from the secondary. All of them in the proper position. So instead of trying to throw into tight coverage, he found a way to throw it away and come back and try again the next down.
The Seahawks on third down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Here's Tannehill. And that is incomplete.
I certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
And Gay knocks this one through, but now there is a penalty marker on the field, so let's see what this is about.
Well, certainly those are the types of mistakes they're trying to avoid as they attempt to protect this lead late in the game.
And let's face it, they're hoping that this one doesn't cost them in a significant way. Yeah, one guy committed a penalty, but now the entire defense has to pay the price and try and rise up and overcome it.
A lack of discipline defensively on 4th down, and now that leads to a 1st and 10. A quick throw out to Lockett. Oh, no, he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Browns. There he goes right side. He's at the 50, 30, 10. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return for the Browns TD. This was a close game. They needed a little breathing room. Boy, they got it right there on that return for a touchdown.
Yeah, we would say that this could be huge. Forget it. It was huge. Gave him a comfortable lead.
And he pushed it right. It's no good. So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score.
This will be fielded inside the 5. And able to get this out to the 25.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
The interception was a great starting point, but now they need points pretty quickly, down 2 scores.
Now a 1st down throw, Tannehill. That is taken in by the tight end Fant. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. It's a gain of 35.
I'm pretty sure any quarterback will tell you it's nice to have a tight end that can stretch the field. And how about him right there, working in the heart of the defense, and they connect on a very nice play downfield, a combination of talent and toughness to go into the briar patch.
They'll fire one downfield for Fant.
He rifles one that's intercepted.
Picked off by Grant Delpit. And the Browns are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Well, field goals probably aren't going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here and maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense. They've really stood tall throughout, and they come up with the interception in the end zone.
Tariq Woolen in on the stop.
Well, partner, Marvin, our #1 stats guy, just handed me a little card that says he has 97 yards on the ground today. You think he's going to get the ball again?
I think so. 3 away from that century mark. Got to have it.
Yeah, and I think what they're going to call is one of his favorite runs, whatever he feels comfortable with, and what the offensive line has executed well today to try and get him over 100 yards.
From the 25 on 2nd down, Watson going up top. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. Despite the lead here in the 4th, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all. And to me, it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays. Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead? Or do you try and extend it because you always feel like the other team can come back?
Extend it. Have some fun. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Jordan Brooks with it. And this one will be brought back to the 22. Well, between last week and this week, that's now 8 interceptions. 5 a week ago, now 3 here.
Well, he is so lucky that one of the defense coordinators I played for, a man named Ken Donahue, is not there right now. Because he saw that happen during his coaching career, and he grabbed a quarterback in the midst of a streak like this and said, tell you what, son, why don't you throw it to the defensive guys, and let's see if our receivers can intercept it.
He's got to figure something out because the current formula is not working.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure, or do they play coverage on this down?
Throwing on 3rd down, Tannehill. And Walker has it. And he is going to have a Seahawks 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Back to throw, Tannehill. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over. But that one, that puts them in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It was a 2-possession game. It is a 2-possession game at this stage in the 4th. They needed points out of that drive.
And obviously now, no chance at all to get those points that they so desperately needed.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. And they sit in a good spot, having the ball back after the fumble recovery and up 2 scores in the 4th quarter. And some space here. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 122 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
It's a gain of a yard, and it takes us to the 2-minute warning. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. And again, it's Chubb. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. And he fires one, but incomplete.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily to look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers.
Tannehill to throw.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game.
That's the first time he's called his own number, but he's got to be overjoyed with the results. He wasn't just going to settle for a modest gain. To me, he was determined to come through with a big message to a defense that slept on him in the pocket.
And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss.
Now another timeout called for by the offense as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game. After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's second and a country mile. He's going to let it fly. He's got a man complete. And he is into the end zone for the touchdown. So they still need a miracle with the clock where it's at, but they get one piece to the puzzle done.
Still have hope.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. The clock showing 19 seconds to go. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. Fourth quarter, it felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here.
Well, Charles, when you look at the stat sheet, ultimately one thing sticks out like a sore thumb. One side lost this game because they turned the ball over 4 times, and that was just too much for them to overcome.
And that number might as well be in neon because you're exactly right. It just jumps up from the stat sheet. Your eyes go right to it. And with that many turnovers, they really played themselves out of this game. Too careless with the football too many times. That cost them the victory.
So for Cleveland, they make amends for their Week 1 loss by winning their home opener. And they'll get to stay home again next week as the Pittsburgh Steelers come to town. Meanwhile, for Seattle, they will fall to 1-1. And they'll have a chance at redemption next week at home against the Los Angeles Rams.